through this stuff today. Verse 1 starts out, I love you, O God, O Lord my God, the rock, the God of my rock. The Lord is my rock and my fortress, my deliverer. Does this sound familiar to last week? We talked about last week in the very beginning of what we were talking about. We used this image of the fortress at Kite Bay. This is in Alexandria where we used to live. And we talked about it last week, about the fortress and the thickness of the walls and how safe you feel whenever you're behind it. Last week we talked about in verse 46, the very beginning opening is the same idea. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Can you say amen to that? And so that's where we find ourselves, is that God is my rock. God is my rock. Can you say that? God is my rock. And as we stand, we understand that he is our sure footing, our sure footing. I love documentaries. I'm kind of like a movie buff in that way. I like to watch those kind of things, docs and news docs. I found a TED Talk by this guy named Alex Honnold. And he is a professional free climber. He had an amazing documentary called Free Solo, where he climbs without a rope. And he climbs like this. And people talk about how strong he is, and he is strong. Though he's not a muscle man, he's very, very strong. And he said, if I can get a grip and the rock is secure, then I can climb it. And I was like, wow. Because he's putting up one little toe, one little handhold like this. But the rock is secure. So because the rock is secure, he can move and climb it. But see, if the rock is secure, despite all his technical abilities, if the rock is not secure, he can't climb it. And that's the difference, is that God is our rock. He is secure. You know, we have those stories about building upon the rock and not upon the sand. It's because God, our rock, will not wash out. Whenever our plans wash out, like the tide comes in and comes out and washes away our faith or our attitude or our good intentions, God does not move. And so whenever pastor says this phrase, I'm standing on the rock, that's what he means. Whenever you echo it, I'm standing on the rock, that's what you mean. This past week, I was on my way in and saying hello to some of our greeters, and I was so blessed as we sat and talked with some of them, and the response was, how are you doing today? I'm standing on the rock. Because whenever you're not certain of your circumstance, you can still stand on the rock of God. So let's say that again collectively. God is my rock. God is my rock.